Warm greetings from TNV Academy. Today in this session, we are going to discuss about what is supplier audit. So let's begin our discussion by learning what do we mean by supplier audit. A supplier audit is performed by business to ensure that the external supplier meets the organization's quality standards. In a supplier audit, the auditor inspects if the supplier is adhering to the industry regulation practices, such as health and safety measures and correct manufacturing processes. A supplier audit inspects a supplier's uses of industry regulation practices. Generally, auditing a supplier covers a large area with several practices. Therefore, they are usually bespoke to the client's requirements. The supplier auditing process can differ for each industry. As a company's supply chain grows, so too does its risk. With every new supplier comes the threat of poor performance. Without proper oversight, the quality of supplied parts and components can slip through the cracks. A supplier audit is an effective way to examine the quality of a particular supplier and the risk it presents to the organization before it becomes a problem. Companies can improve their overall quality by ensuring their suppliers' product quality and delivery standards remain high, something a supplier audit seeks to establish. Supply issues can cost a company money or worse yet, cause harm to its customers. With an effective supplier quality management solution, a supplier audit can be painless and can identify serious problems early in the production cycle. Let us now discuss who conducts a supplier audit. The supplier audit process is typically initiated by an internal team of the buyer organization led by someone in charge of procurement or quality department as a part of their due diligence review or annual review. The internal team will then determine what information should be collected from suppliers and whether the actual auditing process should be done in-house or externally. Typically, the supplier audits are conducted by a neutral third-party inspection company, and this organization evaluates the supplier's compliance on behalf of the buyer related to specific quality standards and client's requirements. The supplier audit should be conducted every 2 years to ensure the supplier is up to standard. So we will now move ahead and discuss the various types of supplier audits. Supplier audits can be broken down into 3 broader categories, namely announced audits, unannounced audits, and desktop audits. The first one is announced supplier audits. Announced supplier audits give the supplier a notice before they are conducted. Both parties agree on this before the inspection, allowing ample preparation time. Although this style is effective, it can somewhat lack transparency as the supplier have the opportunity to review their processes and improve them before they are audited. The second one is unannounced supplier audits. Unannounced audits are performed on a supplier without first discussing the audit with the supplier or giving them prior knowledge of the inspection date. This is a trending inspection method as it gives a buyer an insight into the daily operations and practices used on-site while ensuring that notice has been tampered with or prepared beforehand, which can occur under announced visits. The third one is desktop supplier audits. Desktop audits do not require an inspector to visit the supplier's site in person. Instead, these audits are focused on verifying the supplier's documentation and certificates are up to date. These can be things like the ISO 9001 certification, which certificates their quality management system to ensure they are up to the required and agreed level set out by organization collaborating with the supplier and governing bodies that regulate the industry. Let us now discuss about the process of supplier audits. The procedure of performing a supplier audit typically involves examining the supplier's business practices, financial history, and product quality. But it is always bespoke to the buyer's needs. Therefore, it can differ between supplier inspection. But in general, a standard guidelines is used. Following is a typical supplier audit checklist. The first one is pre-audit questionnaire and pre-inspection meeting. It typically starts with pre-audit questionnaires that collect information regarding the supplier and procedures. followed by a pre-inspection meeting where both parties discuss the audit process and agree on any changes to be made, allowing for a clear purpose and a list of objectives before the auditing process. The second one is team selection. From here, a team will be formed to best match the audit type. These staff members are chosen but on their expertise and knowledge of the type of supplier audit. The third one is notification of audit to supplier. A notification is given to the supplier in writing with several months' notice to allow them to prepare. Written notifications also contain the purpose of the audit, the schedule of the inspection, names and details of the auditors. The fourth one is pre-inspection meeting. This involves a brief introduction to the auditors and finalizing any changes to the inspection schedule. The fifth one is execution of the supplier audit. After the meeting is adjourned, the inspection will begin, in which the auditors will inspect each aspect of the brief using a supplier audit checklist based on the original goals and objectives. This checklist comes in the form of an observation sheet (OS), which records inspectors' findings. The sixth one is reporting on findings and closure of audit. Once the audit is completed, the auditors will compare and discuss the findings, after which they will create a report based on the inspection. This report includes assessing whether the supplier conforms to specific requirements and feedback for improvements. Let us now understand when supplier audit should be done. There are no hard and fast rules to determine when an audit should be conducted. Listed below are some reasons when supplier audits are necessary. New supplier to the business, in which case it is essential to review the supplier's current standard as benchmark going forward. The product supplied is high risk, for example from adulteration, and high volume. Performance against the scorecard using the criteria above is poor or worsening, for example an increasing number of complaints month on month. We will now move forward and discuss what is a supplier audit report. When supplier audits are conducted, an organization follows a procedure to consistently measure supplier quality and compliance. This is recorded in a supplier audit report. This report contains all details of the audits. This includes detail of the factory. This report contains all the details of the audit. This includes details of the factory including the key team and location, a summary of the audit results. Key attention points provide more details regarding fault and general comments. A list of follow-up suggestions to improve the supplier. A full audit list includes general information and all the details inspection findings that work on a ABC quality scale. Finally, a selection for image taken whilst on location provides evidence of any faults. So let us now discuss how to do supplier audit by yourself. Auditing a supply alone can be difficult if you don't have the proper knowledge or experience. But there are certain factors to be aware of which can assist in producing a more robust audit. These things include: the first one is research customer complaints. Analyzing customer complaints can be a great starting point to understanding the key danger points with a particular supplier. When you are trying to decide if a new supplier or company is right for your business, asking previous customers of the provider or complaints which have been formally submitted can give insight into failures within the service. If there is repetitiveness with these complaints, it can indicate that the product or service is not up to standard. The second one is check if a supplier is outsourcing. Suppliers can often outsource work to subcontractors to complete audits and provide for clients. Understanding if suppliers party in this can help clarify their performance and ultimately their final products. It is essential to ask whether or not they do use subcontractors, and if they do, whether there are valid quality agreements that align with your organization's requirements. As well as this understanding, the relationship between the supplier and its subcontractor can eliminate potential issues if the relationship is poor. And finally, let us discuss about the benefits of supplier audits. The following is a list of benefits that can be realized by conducting a supplier audit. The first one is adopt organizational quality standard. The quality of your final product strongly depends on the quality of your supplier. It makes sense to enforce the same set of standards across the supply chain to ensure consistency. Compliance with customer quality management system requirements, industry standards and regulations can be automatically tracked and measured within an electronic quality management system. Compliance with customer quality management system requirements, industry standards and regulations can be automatically tracked and measured within an electronic quality management system. A quality audit will uncover any uncompliant material and will set a plan in motion to ensure conformance to industry standards. The second one is practice effective document management. A supplier audit will ensure all quality documents related to a supplier are in a place and properly achieved. Important records for inspections, non-conformance, and supplier approvals are verified during the audit process. The third one is identify areas of potential risk. Complete traceability and product genealogy of every part, sub-assembly and final assembly ensures operational excellence throughout the product lifecycle. A supplier audit will identify any gaps in the supplier quality process, manufacturing process, engineering change process, and shipping process, allowing a manufacturer to close the loop on any deviations, non-conformance or delays. The fourth one is recover the cost of poor quality. A supplier audit provides a comprehensive look at supply chain performance to identify winners and losses. Suppliers can have a significant effect on the cost of quality. Many of the factors that contribute to the cost of poor quality COPQ. System from supplier-related activities. Manufacturers can then work with the supplier to improve quality or choose to pursue cost recovery through supplier chargeback to recover the cost of faulty products. The fifth one is improve supplier communication. A supplier audit improves collaboration between the manufacturer and its suppliers. Visibility into supplier-related activities provides an open exchange of information and complete transparency on both sides of relationship. Regularly scheduled audits ensure the manufacturers and supplier relationship is meeting objectives and continues to be manually beneficial. When goals are aligned, the likelihood for manufacturing success is much greater. The sixth one is improve customer satisfaction. A supplier audit clearly defines quality objectives and enhances the process of bringing high quality goods to market. Investigation into areas of risk identifies any adverse safety occurrence before it happens. With firm compliance and quality standards in place, customer satisfaction with the end product is to ensure improve. With firm compliance and quality standards in place, customer satisfaction with the end product is sure to improve. A company's reputation can be greatly affected by the quality put forth by its suppliers. A supplier audit is an easy way to introduce accountability into the supply chain and adequately measure supply chain performance. So we have now come to the conclusion of this session. In case you have any questions regarding the topic which we have discussed today, then please put them in the comment section of the video and we will be really happy answering them. Till we meet next is best wishes from TNVAKADEMI. Thank you.